Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am your famous, friendly, family favorite fantasy football guy, and I am here to help you with your NFL DFS lineups for the Showdown slate tonight um, between the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. I was kind of looking over what these teams did against each other last year. They did play twice. They played in week 4 and they played in week 20. So that would have been a playoff game um, or after season game. So in those weeks, it seemed kind of underwhelming, to be honest with you, from some of these players. In week 20, Josh Allen got 19.8 points. Uh, which is respectable, but that's not a lot, honestly, from Josh Allen. I mean, you can see down here he had a 44.28 and 54.88 point games. So normally he can score quite a bit more, but 19 is respectable. Week 4, though, he only got 8.3 points. And I checked to see if he was hurt in that game. He did take a hit where he got shaken up, but they just deemed him as being sore and put him back in the game. So he played in that game. Looks like Baltimore's defense just held up. Week 20, obviously, they fared better. But with that said, his matchup against these guys, Baltimore was 25th against the quarterback, 27th against the pass. So on paper, you would expect him to do very good. However, Josh Allen likes to run a lot, and Baltimore was first against the rush. So I'm not sure if that was a part of why he didn't do as good, at least in that first game or not. But yeah, so that's his matchup on paper. It looks pretty solid. And he's fresh. It's a new year, so he's still going to be one of the best picks. I mean, to be honest with you, it's a showdown slate, and some of these other players were very underwhelming. Josh Allen was outperformed by Lamar Jackson in both games. So in week 20, Lamar got 20.6 points, which is, again, respectable, not super great. Now in week 4, he got 24.64 points. So he did better in week 4 than he did in that second game. And he's still going to be one of the top scoring players. So honestly, I'm looking at putting both of those guys in my lineup for the showdown slate. I don't think I'm going to make either one of them my captain. I guess I should show you his matchup. The Bills ranked 20th against the quarterback. They ranked 21st against the pass, 13th against the rush. So his matchup looks pretty decent as well. They are playing at Buffalo, so that could give Josh Allen, well, it does give Josh Allen a slight advantage, but they're both solid teams, so, either one could take the cake here. Now, Derrick Henry, in week 20, he only got 14.4 points, but that's not that far below, where those guys were. But in week 4, he got 38.9 points. And that's kind of the one I'm looking at right now and focusing on. I think, he was fresher at the beginning of the season. Although they ran him like an animal the entire season, and he held up. So, but I'm going to be playing him, I think, as my captain, mainly because of that 38-point game. I think he could do it again. He could break 30 points in this game. If he doesn't, he doesn't. James Cook in week 20 had 11.2 points, so nothing super special there. Week 4, he got 5.8 points, so really nothing special in those games coming from James Cook. So I'm not even going to put him in my lineup, not even going to think about it, to be honest with you, but that could bite me in the butt. I'm just telling you guys what I'm seeing here. And Zay Flowers, Let's see. He didn't play in week 20. He did not play. Must have been injured. But in week 4, he only got 2 points. So he was not a factor in that game, hardly at all. There is a receiver that was on the Ravens, and I will tell you about him in a minute, that I will probably play, but I think I would expect Flowers to do better in this game. It's not hard to beat 2 points when you're an NFL wide receiver. So here you have the Bills were 18th against wide receivers. Again, 21st against the pass. So that's his matchup, what it's looking like. But I'm probably going to avoid playing Zay Flowers in my lineup. I'll be honest with you guys. Here we have Shakir. Shakir in week 20 had 12.7. Nothing spectacular, but he hit double digits. Week 4, same thing, 10.2. He hit double digits, but that's not super great. The matchup there is the Ravens were 24th against the wide receiver. They were 27th against the pass. And they were first against the rush. So I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of passing going on unless they really fell apart against the rush, which I doubt is the case. Let's look at Mark Andrews. I don't think he was a big factor in this game, guys. 10.4 points in week 20. That's decent, but not great from him. And then here you have in week 4, 0 points. Now, I don't know if he was hurt. I tried to look it up. I wasn't successful in my findings. But I'm pretty, well, I do think it said that he I can't remember now. I had looked it up, but he may have played, he may not, but he didn't get any points. There was no impact in those games. So take that for what it is. Coleman, gonna look at him. Actually, I should show you the matchup here for Mark Andrews. Don't want to hold back from you guys. Bills were ranked 12th against the tight end. They were ranked 21st against the pass. I'm not seeing that as being a spectacular play tonight either. I'll be real honest with you. There is a guy that I'm liking, but he's a bit farther down. We got Coleman. Coleman was in week 20. He got 1.5 points, so pretty much not a factor in that game. 8.1 points. Again, not much of a factor there. We've already seen the matchup, so I'm not going to break that down again. But yeah, not loving that, guys. Now here's the one, guys. Rashad Bateman. In week 20, he had 16.6 points. In week 4, okay, I'm mistaken. In week 4, he only had 3.3 points. I was thinking it was another double digit. Higher end double digit, but I guess it was just the one. So yeah, week 20, guys, he had 16.6 points in that game. Now I will say this, Baltimore now has, if you scroll down all the way to 6,300, Baltimore has DeAndre Hopkins, and he's listed as their number 3 receiver. I mean, we're talking about a guy who was once a top receiver in the league. I think he can still play football, guys. And he's listed as number 3 at 6,300. I think he would be worth putting in your lineup. I really do. It's going to be an extra person for Lamar Jackson to throw to. And I like that, and I don't at the same time, because none of his he spreads the ball around. None of his receivers really scored much in those 2 games, except for Bateman in that second game. He had a pretty decent one. But yeah, that's, there's looking at those guys. Who do we have here? We got Kincaid to look at. Kincaid, guys, in week 20 had 2.1 points, not a factor at all. The first week he had 9.7, so that is something. I guess if you're trying to fill in some your flex spots, and you need a cheaper guy, because by the time you put Allen, Jackson, and Henry in, if you play all three of those guys, you're gonna have to start going really cheap down at the bottom. So also Joshua Palmer is now a Bill. He is now a Buffalo Bill. This guy's been known to catch some passes. So he's a very athletic guy. I think he can do good in this week. I just think there's so many places to spread the ball around to on both sides. So it's hard to pick, it's hard to nail down which receiver you think is just going to go off in this game. I think Rashad Bateman, he had that one game to kind of show that he could be the guy. Here's the other thing, guys. The Bills' defense, only 8 points in week 20, which is, decent for a defense, but I don't think it's enough to make me want them in a showdown slate. I really don't. Week 4, they got -1 points. I mean, they're playing the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. I don't love the matchup there. Look at the Ravens here. They 1 point, guys, in week 20. Not very solid. Week 4, they did get 9 points. Pretty decent, but again, it doesn't scream to me, hey, pick me for your lineup. It really doesn't. I will say Buffalo now has Matt Prater. Matt Prater was injured last year. He had to get meniscus surgery on his meniscus, guys. And then you have Tyler Loop. Tyler Loop is the new kicker for Baltimore. But I'll be honest with you, neither game last year, guys, did the kickers fare that great, to be honest. Well, at least, okay, I can't say that, I guess, because I can say it about Tyler Bass. No, I lied to you guys. I don't know what I was looking at. He got 11 points in that Week 20 game. So I take back what I said. Week 20, he got 11 fantasy points. That's solid from a kicker. That is something that would make me want to play their kicker this week. However, it's not the same kicker. It's a new guy, Tyler Loop, and I guess we just have to trust that he would be as good as Tyler Bass. In week 4, Tyler only got 6 points, but still, that's okay from a kicker. Not outstanding from a kicker, but Matt Prater has, when he was on the Broncos, guys, he set, I'm pretty sure, still holds the 64-yard record for a field goal. But that was before his meniscus surgery, so we're still trying to figure out where he's at after that surgery. From my understanding, he hasn't played any games that I know of. I'm not sure if he played in the preseason. I don't believe he did. I think they just signed him. I think they're just pulling him up from the practice squad, guys. Yeah, they're pulling him up off of the practice squad. So we'll see how that goes. So there's a few more guys. You have Elijah Moore down here, who is ranked, what position? He's 4. He's number 4 on the depth chart for wide receivers. Number 5, Curtis Samuel. Guys, they have so many receivers to choose from here. It's not even funny. I don't know if any of them are really that great, but, Curtis Samuel can play. He can make some plays. There's just so many receivers to pick from. I will say, guys, in week 4, Justice Hill, 21.6 points against Baltimore. So he did really good as well in that game. Week 20, he only got 7.7 points. So he didn't factor into that game as much. Let's look at Curtis Samuel, just see what he did in those games. Week 20, 2.9 points, not a factor. Week 4, 3.5 points, not really a factor, guys. And there's not really anyone else to look at down below. But we'll look at Dawson Knox because we want to look at him, and I don't think that I broke him down yet for you guys. I apologize. I'm still tired. I was up late last night. Yeah, week 4, 1 point. Week 20, 1 point. Not a factor in these games, guys. So here's what I'm looking at. From my lineup, what I think I'm probably going to do is make an approach with, I'm tempted, honestly, to put Bateman in that spot. It maybe even perhaps DeAndre Hopkins. That just seems like too much of a risk. I think I would go Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Now that took a lot of salary off right there. But I don't feel like I'm missing out too much by skipping any of these guys right here. If you think differently, let me know in the comments. And I'm going to go Bateman here just because he had that one really solid game, and that leaves you 3,550 per each player, 3,550 left. I'm going to go with Prater, guys. I'm going to put some trust in this guy that he can still play football. And I lied to you because I didn't forget about, I kind of forgot about him, but I saw him right after I hit Prater. I saw DeAndre Hopkins. It's too hard for me to skip over Hopkins here. At 4,200, the salary I gave you before would have been him as a captain. He's 4,200, guys, not as a captain. So that leaves you with one more play, and well, you guys can decide. Tell me who you like. I think I'm liking Curtis Samuel here, but it's kind of a toss in the air. Just toss it up, see if it lands the way you want it to, because there's not a lot of guys left. But anyways, I apologize. This has been kind of long and sporadic, but hopefully this will at least give you guys a breakdown of what they did last year against each other. I know these are new teams, but hopefully this will give you just a little idea and a little breakdown. So I appreciate you sticking with me, and I will see you next time.